So today we have a very good video for you, interesting video, and we are here with Brian. And Brian is a professional stock trader who over the past 35 years has made an amazing name for himself. He's the CEO of ProfessionalStockTraderLive.com. And he's done this for a long time, making many people a lot of money. I think I have a lot of good questions for him today. And I'm going to get your expert analysis here on BNGO, BioNano Genomics. It's a hot stock right now. And I think a lot of people are asking, is it a buy? Is it a sell? What do I do with it if I own it right now? So Brian, why don't you take us into looking at the charts?
Wow, okay. Let's take a look at the charts.
So Brian, why don't you tell us what we got here?
Well, so Anth, just kind of as a leading up to where we're at right now, at the end of last year, as you know, the stock was trading 50, 60, 70 cents, trading right around $1 at the end of the year. And then it rallied all the way up to, as we can see here, $15.69. Now there were some announcements along the way, late December, early January, and there's been some stuff that's been trickling out ever since then. But I think part of the big thing for me is that this is a stock that was a nothing stock at the beginning of the year.
Right.
That went to almost $16 a share. I think it got caught up with a lot of the momentum plays.
Right. A lot of these, we were seeing that with a lot of stocks, right?
A lot of them.
Flying.
Just flying. It was pretty much, you know, throw a dart and the stock was going up 100, 200%. So what I want to look at here is, along with many stocks, a lot of the ones that you follow, Anth, as you can probably attest to, a lot of these stocks had big corrections. So this stock was $15.69 back the middle of February, and it dropped all the way down here just over the past several days back. It dropped as low as $5.58.
And that's in this most recent sell-off, right?
Yeah, in this most recent sell-off. So now, for me, I'm kind of in the caution mode here because since those lows, we've now rallied back up over into the 9 area. Today, you can currently see we're at 926 up, 59 cents up, 6.86%. And the one big thing that I want to look at here is, you know, where is the stock going from here? Like you're saying, where is it going? Is it a buy, sell, or a hold? For me personally, if I bought it on this recent sell-off, I'm probably going to be in the hold camp. I'm probably looking.
So if you bought it at $5.59.
Yeah, if I bought it anywhere
below 6 or 7.
Yeah, anywhere in that area, I'm probably going to be holding right now, and I'm probably going to be holding for somewhere in this red zone, which is somewhere between 10 and 10.5. One of the other things that I like looking at when a stock has a big sell-off, we take a Fibonacci retracement from the highs of that 1569 all the way down to these most recent lows down in the mid 5s. And then we can see here, this number right here, 1064, represents a 50% retracement of the high to the low. So that would be a common area for the stock to probably have resistance at.
Okay.
As well as this area here in 945, which represents a 38.2% retracement. So not only do I have that Fibonacci retracement level that I'm looking at, but I also have resistance on the charts in this red area where it kind of gapped up above it, then it backed off into this area, then it backed off again and through here into this area, and then it rallied back up into this area, back in this zone right here, as you can see. So that's kind of my area where I think if I'm an owner of the stock now, I'm looking to probably lighten up. Not to mention, you got the 20-day moving average here coming in at 1058. So you got a confluence of resistance, 10 to 1058.
So technically, looking at the technicals of this chart, you'd say that the range to sell this, if you're holding from the $7 area, right, would be that 1050-ish spot, right?
I'd say that's going to represent resistance. Now, it depends what it does when it gets up there. Does it get up there and kind of chop sideways for several days thereafter and then break through eventually?
Okay.
So I'd kind of want to watch the tape action as it gets up there. But I guess if you're looking for a place where I'd say to myself, hey, I'm in the $6, $7 range. If it gets up into the mid-10s, low 10s, I'm probably taking some profits.
Okay, so what about somebody today who's hearing about BNGO today, yesterday, maybe over the weekend they heard about it, and they heard, hey, you have an awesome opportunity with this stock because of some of the catalysts I'm going to go through with you in a second, but you have an awesome opportunity with this stock. You should really invest. What would you tell that person who has an opportunity to invest a little extra spare cash, retail investor, should they be buying BNGO today?
Well, personally, I probably wouldn't, just because if I look at some of the other things that I would look at being an investor, you've got less than 1% held by insiders. You've got a little over 5.5% held by institutions. This here was a low float and momentum favorite, which in my opinion drove the stock to higher numbers than it ever should have been at. You had a 29 and a 33 million share offering at $3 and $6 respectively. If I'm looking at the charts, there's a price gap at 347 and again at 308, and we can just represent that right here by looking at this green area here. And a price gap simply means that the stock closed on this particular day, 31st of December, at $3.08, and it just gapped on up to open the next day at 521.
Okay.
So now there is a price gap that's left and a spatial gap that's left, because when you on this particular day, it only traded as low as 391. So from 391 all the way to the high on this particular day, which is 347, you have a 44-cent price gap on the charts. It doesn't mean it's got to get filled, but oftentimes these price gaps do get filled.
Right.
Considering it's so far down below, I don't know that it gets filled, but
So right now, if you're hearing about BNGO for the first time, or you're doing research and you're looking into stocks, right now, not the time to buy, right?
I personally wouldn't. Not at these levels.
And especially for the retail investor who doesn't have much money, right? If
Correct.
you're saying you only have $2,000 or $1,000, this is not the one to take your shot on if you're going to take a shot, right?
Correct. Okay. Not at this point.
So BioNano Genomics, or BNGO, is mainly a testing company from what I have researched and from what I have found. They have a very detailed DNA test that other companies right now are unable to do. So I'm just going to read you what they have here. BioNano systems provide essential genomic information no other technology can provide to help advanced greater understanding of genome biology. BioNano's next-generation mapping combines proprietary nanochannel arrays with optical mapping to image extremely long, high molecular weight DNA in its most native state. This technology enables unparalleled structural variation sensitivity, genome assembly contiguity, hundreds of times that of short-read sequencing alone, and the accuracy to correct sequencing-based errors. So BioNano Genomics is also a major player in the cancer research, in COVID research right now. They claim that their test can show why some people get more severely sick than others. They also have research being done in genetic diseases like autism, for example. A possible catalyst for BNGO going forward would be this press release right here. The largest hospital diagnostic lab in Canada pilots BioNano's Sapphire, seeking to convert 30-year-old workflow based on multiple technologies into a single high-resolution assay to transform cancer diagnosis. So basically a company has picked up BNGO, or not a company, a hospital has picked up BNGO, and they're going to test it out. And if it goes well, I mean, who knows what would happen, right?
Yeah, agree.
Other hospitals could end up wanting their testing. So BNGO is a major risky play. I mean, I would say just based on this alone, it's only one hospital. It is a big hospital, but it's
speculative.
One hospital.
Very speculative company that's trading at high.
The last thing I want to say for potential catalyst here is BioNano Genomics is to report their fourth quarter and year-end 2020 financial results and host a conference call and webcast on March 23rd, 2021. And this could possibly, if they surprise you with earnings or something, but I think you were saying earlier they don't really have much in the earnings.
Most of the biotech and R&D, they're just they're just that, they're research and development, and they're more than likely years away from bringing any real product to the market. And the one last thing I want to make mention here with regards to BNGO is something that I often look at is the on-balance volume. And this is at the bottom right here as I've got my mouse. This here, even while the stock sold off some over 50%, you can see the on-balance volume, which is basically telling you accumulation versus distribution of the stock. It's sitting up right near its high. So that's one thing that I do like about the stock here from that perspective, is that it does look like it's under accumulation. So, there's at least one positive you can take away from this here.
All right, folks. So there you have it. That is our take on BNGO. And our final consensus, let's get a wrap up from the professional stock trader, Brian here. Brian, what is your final consensus? Wrap this up for everybody. Tie a little bow on it. Let them know.
Tie a little bow.
Let them know what's going on. Should we buy? Should we not?
Personally, right now, like I said before, if I'm an owner of it right now and I bought it anywhere down below, say $6, $7, $8, I'm probably sitting waiting for the 10, 10.5 area. Take a look and see how it acts there. And if it backs off a little bit and then starts pushing through 10.5, you're good to go. But I probably wouldn't want to see this here. Certainly, you wouldn't want to see it get back down below recent lows in the mid-5s. But that again is just too much risk for one to have. So I'd probably just be sitting playing for the mid-10s at this point. I certainly would not be buying it. Let's put it that way.
Unless you're all in for the speculative part.
Unless you're in for
spec.
spec.
Unless you really know your stuff on this company. You've done a lot of due diligence and you know things and you just have your confidence in this company.
Or the other way you could play it is you could buy some options on it, which would give you a lot less money at risk.
Okay. So technically, not a buy right now. Speculatively, that's on you. And that's all we have for today from Sounds Right Media. I'm Anthony.
I'm Brian.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back with the Professional Stock Trader next time.